End Time Back, Part 2, Earmarks. See, many claim that, many lawmakers, they claim that earmarking's been around, and matter of fact, I'll call one of the names. Harry Reid has proclaimed that earmarking's been common since the founding of America, but research would indicate otherwise. See, he can sit out there and he can have his little low tone, and he can hold his head down and be silent, and he can speak real low, and he can act like he's a big guy with soft, big stick, soft tone. He goes, well, I gotta tell you, it's this, it's that. It's been around since the founding of America, and we're gonna go ahead with earmarks. Well, guess what? Harry Reid, you stupid imbecile. Rape's been around since the founding of America. Okay? Murder's been around since the founding of America. That don't make it right. Let's move on. The idea of directing federal money to specific local projects originally came from Representative John Calhoun, Democrat, South Carolina, when he proposed the bonus bill of 1817 to construct highways linking the east-south of the United States to the western frontier. At that time, these projects were referred to as internal improvements. See? Study and do your research like I do. Get off the television, okay? I'm not saying to throw it out the door and shoot it. That's your television. You do what you want to do with it. I'm just saying, when you sit there and, when you used to have a job, you'd go to work, you'd come in, you'd be tired, I understand that. You sit down in your chair, you just want to relax a minute, first thing you do is hit the clicker. Let's see what's on the news. And you're too tired, and that's the way they created the system, see, to make you too tired to do anything other than accept whatever come on that clicker that you click because you were too tired to get up and do the research. Before we had the internet and all, the friggin' New York Times and all that and everything was already bought out by left-wing propagandists or right-wing neocons. And there was never anything to do about Constitutional Party or about American patriotism. It was all one way or the other. Divide and conquer, okay? So, having said that, you come in from work when you used to have a job, and I'll remind you the reason you don't have a job is because you're senators, congressmen, Federal Reserve, and a corrupt government that destroyed you. They destroyed you. You did not destroy yourself. You worked hard every day. You had anywhere from 10% to 50% of your income took out in taxes, but yet you think, yes, we got to do that to support this conglomeration of a bunch of idiots so that they can keep passing bills that benefit themselves and put them back in office that don't give a rat's behind about the American people. But you keep on and keep on doing it. Well, if we didn't have the federal government to keep the highways going and this, that, and other and all that and that, dude, wake up and smell the coffee. Listen, if we would have went with a balanced budget, we'd have stayed on the gold and silver, or just even the gold standard. We'd have not allowed the Federal Reserve in there. We'd have not allowed all this bull crap, the private bankers, international bankers, and all that. All these Rothschilds, all these Europeans and Jews and Gentiles and Americans and the French and all that and other to come over and destroy us. If we'd have stood up back then, we wouldn't be where we are now. So you can't point your finger at one friggin' entity. It has to be a conglomeration of people. So, having said that, let's move on. Now, such a view of the Constitution would have the effect of giving Congress a general power of legislation instead of defined and limited on hitherto understanding belong to them the terms common defense and general welfare, embracing every object and act with the purview of a legislative trust. Now, I'm going to call the name of something that I suggest you check into. Taxpayers for Common Sense. I'll turn it around and let you look at it. Because like I said, my wife has things she has to do. We got a 2-year-old. We got a 4-year-old. We got other kids that are growing up. We got life to live too. I can't spend all my time trying to type. The way I type is one finger. Click, 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 click. Just to even get a personal message back to you. Now my wife tries. I'll stand here and she'll try to type it. She can type good. So can my 16-year-old. So can my 12-year-old. But the thing of it is, we have to have a life other than just responding to a message. And that I'm not belittling a message, but I'm just saying, I can't sit in front of a computer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and give you a diaper when your diaper gets dirty, or give you a pacifier because maybe you suck on it rather than do your own research. I'm not being ugly. I'm trying to get you to wake up and grow up before it's too late. which is about over. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, here we go. See this? All you got to do is Google. If you've got a computer and you're watching me, you're able to Google, type it in. History of earmarking. Type it in. Do your own research. I don't know whether there'll be a link here or not. You know, well, it'll make it a lot easier in time if you put the links. I know a lot of people have time and ability to put them. I'm here scratching notes on chicken scratch. My wife can barely read, okay, because I can't write worth a darn. Then she comes in here after she gets the babies asleep, and she spends her time, 12:30, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to download it or upload this stuff and get it to you, and then I hear bitching and whining and moaning about they ain't got the friggin' link. Man, wake up. Anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there just because I can. Taxpayer for Common Sense, an independent watchdog organization, argued that widespread earmarking is a relatively new phenomenon in American politics. The organization cites the evolution of earmarks since the 70s. I won't remind you. Figure out who was in there in the 70s and president. 1970 Defense Appropriation Bill had dozens of earmarks. 80 Bill, 62, 2005 Defense Bill, including 2000. Watch, in 2005, the Defense Bill had 2,671 earmarks. One of the earmarks in the 2005 bill was money to eradicate brown tree snakes in Guam. What on earth do we need to pay for the eradication of brown tree snakes in Guam on a defense bill? Because this SOB had ties and got kickbacks from Guam, whoever sponsored it. You don't have to be friggin' brilliant to figure out what End Time's telling you. And I'll remind you, every earmark that's put out is not put out of his friggin' pocket. If he had to take it out of his billfold on his hip, by God, it'd be shut down now. But he spends your money and your children's money. He spent your mama's money. He spent your daddy's money. He spent your granddaddy's money, your grandpa's money. I mean, great-grandpa, and the children that your grandchildren would ever hope to have that ain't going to happen. They already spent it. But they're not breaking no laws, right? How on earth can we be this stupid in America? How on earth can we be this stupid to believe that what them idiots on TV and what them idiots in Congress, just because they got a friggin' suit on, just because they got a little flag of America, and I'm not pissed off because Barack don't wear one. At least you know he don't pledge allegiance to America. I mean, when he don't put his hand over, you know good and well what he is. Bam. So why argue over it? Why worry about it? You know he's a friggin' Marxist communist. You know he wasn't born in America. Why worry about it? You already know what you're up against. You're up against an enemy. Okay? And everybody he's hired is part of that enemy New World Order system because he's only part of the enemy. I mean, realize and understand that common sense and intelligence goes a whole hell of a lot further than a Harvard University degree. Any day of the week. I'll remind you of this. Times change so fast, technology and knowledge increases so fast, a person that goes to college for 5 years or 4 years, the first year they learn something in college, by the third year that crap is out of date. Look it up for yourself. Hey, I barely got out of high school. I did make 100. Yeah, it was English. I made a 50 the first 6 weeks, a 50 the second 6 weeks. About the third 6 weeks, I had 100. Therefore, in the elite size, I'm considered, how would I put this, illegitimate and deletable offspring that is no good. See, I'm less than human to them. That's okay. I ain't through. I'll be back.